Hello ladies, welcome back. Today I'm going to be working on the 5 elements that Amy sent to me. In fact, she sent me more than 5, so I get a choice, don't I, Amy? These are the pieces that she sent. So I looked at these and I thought, well, there's an element of school here, isn't there? These are from a yearbook, I think. I love this because it has my name on it. And there's this pretty paper here and a ticket. I had to ask Larry what these were for, but he said he'd seen lots of these and they are for putting in a badge if you go to a conference. So that could be for the pupils when they start school, couldn't it? Start their college. And then there's a library ticket. And there's some music paper. So I thought I should be able to do something with that. Next, I'm going to make a circle, and I need for that this circle cutter. I could also do it with the scissors, of course, but I'm going to cut some cardboard, and I think this might work better. So if you haven't seen one of these before, this is a circle cutter. And it has a gauge on the side in centimetres and inches. And in this little compartment here, there is a sharp blade, which I shall remove with my tweezers. And put into that little slot there. And then I grasp the blade and just push and it slots in. That's safe now. This is the piece of cardboard that I want to cut the circle out of. And I've got a cutting mat underneath because I don't want to cut a hole in my table. And I'm hoping that this piece of cardboard will be big enough. Just about, I think. Yes, that will do. I haven't pressed hard enough, so I'll go around it with the scissors, but at least I've got a perfect circle. Here we go. I don't like forcing things, do you? I always think if I force something, I'm doing it wrong and it will break. But this is no matter, this is just packing material. There we are. And so before I cut myself on it, I'm now going to remove the blade and put it back in its compartment. Why is it that when you're on screen, things always go wrong? There we are. So there's my circle. And here's my page, which I've tea dyed. And if you leave the tea dye, if you leave the tea bags in the water for long enough, it will go mouldy. If you then use it to do the page, you will find that you get all these lovely little marks, which when you've cooked it will be quite safe. I like that effect. I'm going to use that side, although I think there won't be much to see by the time I've finished with the page. Now this circle is going to go here, and the faces are going to go in a circle around it. So the next thing to do is to cut out these faces, and I'll do that and come back to you in a minute. I've cut out the pictures, and now I'm going to put them on the page so that the cardboard covers them up like so. So to do that, I'm going to draw a circle round here. As my guide. I'll just about see that. Could be better. And now I'm going to put the pictures on. I'm going to use a tape runner for that. Going to need one more, aren't I? So I'll cut one more. And then when I cut the shape out of the cardboard, I'll be able to move it round. So I need to make sure that I get the right size. See if that works. and it'll move around like so. But first I'm going to cover this with pretty paper. This is the paper, that was one of the elements. And that I will cut out with the scissors. And now I just need to stick that on. I'm going to stick it on with the Fabri-Tac. And then I'm going to stitch some lace around the edge. Make it look pretty. Because the edge is a bit of a vulnerable area. And if any of the pictures are going to stick out from underneath here, it's going to be round the edge, isn't it? It's drying almost as soon as I put it on because it's so hot here today. That looks better, doesn't it? You see, it's just peeking through a little bit on the corner there. I could move it over. So that's got to dry before I can sew it. But I can measure out the lace, so I'll get my lace box. I'm going to go for this lace. And that's going to go on the edge like this. There we are. Extra. And these, of course, are my paper scissors. So that always chews it up, but it won't matter. And I'm going to sew that on when the glue is dry, and then I'll come back to the next bit with you. I've sewn the lace around the circle, and that looks rather nice now, and it fits just nicely over the faces. I've marked the centre with a spot. And now I'm going to use my awl to make a hole. In the centre there. And now I'm going to use one of these lovely fasteners which Anne Ashmore made and gifted to me, and hopefully I'm going to be able to poke that through the hole and fasten the circle to the page. I'm being careful because I don't want it to come off where she's fitted it on. But there comes a time when you have to push and hope for the best. These are big fasteners. Right. And so there we have it. And all the lovely students are now visible in the wheel. That one's not perfect, is it? He's peeping over the edge. So that's that. And now I'm going to turn my attention to this side. And for this side, I've decided to use this problem page. I'm going to fix that on here, like so. And I'm going to stitch round it here and here and here, leaving this piece open. So I'll go and do that now. The problem page is now sewn on, and there's a big pocket down the side there. But along the bottom here it says read the following, and obviously you can't see the next bit, so I've decided to cover this bit up with some more of the students. I think if I cut off this one at the end, and that will cover that up. I'll use the tape runner to stick them on. And I think that looks better. On the front here, it's plain, so I'm going to use the music paper on the side there. I think that will look nice, and I've got to put it somewhere. So again, That's covered that nicely, hasn't it? So now I need to decide what I'm going to do with the other pieces. I've still got the ticket and the library card and the hellos. I've still got Stella Speller. I think that might look nice there. I like that there. And it's not going to get in the way, is it? I'm going to put that on there. So now I need to decide what to do to decorate the music page. Now that I've finished the right hand side of the page, I'm going to turn my attention to the left hand side, and I'm going to do a little bit of collage on this music paper. I'm going to use this library card and the hello label. I'm going to use this little card, the ticket, and one of these pictures which I've backed onto the piece of card that I took out of that wheel. I'm also going to use the names of some of the students. And I think that's it. I've got the Stella Speller on there. And I may not use this hello badge because it's very pink and I don't think it goes with the rest of it. So I've used that paper on the wheel. I've used the pictures of the students. And I've used the problem page. Now collaging, when you do that, it's never wrong. Whichever way you do it, it suits you. But some things look better than others, don't they? So starting off with the backing paper, which I could just leave that for writing on or for even composing music on. But I've got to incorporate all these other pieces somehow. If I put it in the middle, that's okay. But then where am I going to put the other pieces? I could do like so, or like so. But to create interest, you have to decide which is going to be, which of these elements is going to be the focal point. And for me, it's going to be the little picture of this student. So he's got to go on in a prominent place so that our eye is instantly drawn to him. So I'm going to start with the library card to the left and up at the top. And I'm not very keen on covering up good bits, what I consider good bits, so I always try and fit things in so that you can see as much as possible. That's just the way I do it. So for instance, I like that where you can still see the words on there. And now of course we've got to the end of that piece of paper. So the next piece, the next element is this little card which I've backed, but I didn't need to do that as it turns out. So I'm going to put that somewhere like that. Now I've got the names on that side. I was going to say, I thought I edged that. I did, didn't I? So I'll probably put that there. The ticket being blue, greeny blue, teal, isn't it? Goes quite nicely with that blue, so I'm going to tuck that in there. But I'm still leaving my name is visible. And then the little fella, I've got to decide where to put him. I think I'm going to put him there. I have another little fella, same one as over here. If I put him up there, although it looks okay, now your eye doesn't know which one to look at, does it? Likewise, if I put him here, then your eye goes straight to him down there. So I think I'm going to leave him just where he is. There. And I think that's enough. No point in overdoing it really, is there? So having decided that, I'm now going to stick the card down. This library card. And this time I'm not going to stick it all down. I'm going to leave it just with the edges. Because then it is possible to slip something in the side. This is a peel-off label. I did originally think I might make a badge with it, but I've changed my mind. So that can go there. I think we'll stick this one down. I'm so used to being on my own that I tend to mutter. Sorry about that. Talk to myself, in other words. And I forget that people are listening. So I'm talking to myself, really. And you just happen to be listening. I think I'll leave that as a tuck spot as well. My glue is getting to the bottom of the pot, so consequently it wants to fall over all the time. So those are the names of the students. And I think it also helped to elevate this little fella, because that makes him the focal point even better, doesn't it? There we are. And that's my page complete. I hope you like what I did with your elements, Amy. Now, in the future, if it was my page, I would do a bit more with the inside. But the brief was to do one spread, so I think I'm going to leave it there. I've got the wheel. It shows all the students. And all the other elements that I was glad to receive from Amy. So thank you for joining in, Amy. I really enjoyed playing with your elements, and I hope to see you all on the next one. Bye bye for now.